Hello, everyone. It's Steve with Aptera Owners Club. Several weeks ago, Jason Hill put a couple of posts on LinkedIn talking about the lighting system. And if you look at this, here's a picture of the headlamp with the center headlamp on the Aptera, and it says hashtag Magwerks Vision. And the other one was headlight benefits are better illumination, superior optical properties with greater than 70% efficiency, reduced weight, superior thermal management, lower energy performance, and higher optical performance. Aptera Magwerks Vision. So I finally decided to look into this, and I learned more about headlights than I probably wanted to know. And maybe most of you guys know all this stuff. So if you're a automotive headlight lighting expert, you can probably skip this video. But if you were similarly ignorant like me, we'll learn some stuff together, okay? So anyway, I looked up Magwerks Vision, and here is Magwerks Vision's website. They are a company based out of Oxford, Michigan. And okay, let's see, contact us. Yeah, Oxford, Michigan. So that's where they're based out of, and they are calling themselves a leading supplier of high quality, innovative vehicular lighting solutions. And here is their light bulb, and basically their technology, they says they have a patented magnesium/silicon technology that only provides smaller and lighter packaging for the OEM, but inherently less engineering intensive, and the capital and consumer funding tooling is significantly lower cost. So I think that is one of the major advantages that Aptera was looking for, is that it's less engineering intensive, so they have to do less engineering for it, and it's less tooling intensive, so it's cheaper both in the cost of the part itself and cheaper in the construction part. So lots of advantages according to their website. So I wanted to look a little bit about this company, and it was founded in 2021. So that's very new, just 2 years ago, which made me a little bit concerned because it's just another startup company, and I was wondering, like, are they mature? Can they produce things? So it looks like they just kind of renamed themselves 2 years ago. They've been around since 2016. They used to call themselves Magwerks LED. As you can see, their module looks very similar. If you look in here, sorry, I'm gonna see, that looks very similar to that. And if you look at this older website, it gives you a little bit more information. And their advantages are reduction in LED lighting mass. That's important for a light car like Aptera. They want to save weight wherever they can. Improvement of cooling performance. That's really important because LED lights get really hot, and the early LED headlamps actually had little fans built into them to cool them. And some of the current lights may also have fans. Decrease in LED lamp volume and size. So smaller size is better in terms of design efficiency. You can stick them in more places. And also it just takes up less room in a smaller vehicle like the Aptera. And then significant lower of LED lamp cost, which is always a good thing, right? Utilizing proprietary magnesium thick-sole molded construction. So I had no idea what thick-sole molded means, so we'll get into that. And it effectively thermal management requirement is effectively addressed through magnesium thick-sole molding, superior formability, thermal conductivity, lightweight, robustness, cost effectiveness. Magnesium construction permits the integration of the housings, heat sinks, reflectors, and optics into streamlined systems or subsystems, thus creating the lightest weight, compact, and cost-effective LED illumination devices available anywhere. Okay, so I will show you guys some of the more conventional LED lighting, and then we'll go into what Magwerks is doing different, okay? Here is some of what they're saying, the 80% optically efficient. That's two times more than some other LED systems. Major reduction in power consumption. And then the vehicle integration is easier. Electronic lighting control. And then specialized electronic manufacturing for cost-effective assembly. So that's all things that, like, a small manufacturer like Aptera, everyone likes that. Everyone likes cost-effective assemblies. But for someone like Aptera, especially important. And then 50% of the size, and so that's saves mass, and that's going to be really important on a small vehicle like Aptera. Like if you have a giant Hummer EV that's like 10,000 pounds, like who cares if you have an extra couple of pounds of lighting weight, but for an Aptera, it probably makes a difference. And then condensation control, natural lens heating. So what they have is they have a magnesium housing with a silicone lens, and the silicone lenses enable better UV protection. All right. So here is their products page, and if you look at this, you see that their specs are 1500 lumens, 170 degrees of visible light, and then 3 times more light per watt. So they're saying that 300% more efficient or 200% more efficient than other technologies. And then they require only 6 watts per module. Yeah, so they're saying that's about 50% less than standard. And then they talk about their size again and how it increases visibility. And that's very important because these days, when they give safety ratings for cars, it's not just like the airbags and the crush zones and that kind of stuff. They've included vehicular lighting. So you will not get like the highest safety rating unless your vehicular lighting, the headlights, are really important. And I remember when we got a car with xenon or HID lights. You guys have probably heard of HID lights or xenon lights. This was popular about 10 years ago, and they were coming on the scene. And the regular automotive headlights were halogen. Halogen's the cheapest. They're still used on like lower end vehicles, especially in the developing world. But largely they've been replaced by LED. But for a little while, HID or xenon lighting was popular. And I remember the difference between halogen lighting and xenon lighting was just like night and day. It was like you could see way better at night with the HID. And so LED has the same advantages, but without, and also is much more efficient and lasts longer, has a much more bigger lifespan. Okay, so what is this magnesium thixo molding? What it is you have this machine that has magnesium little pellets, and you put it into this screw drive, and then you heat the thing with this solvent. And thixotropic means that it's like a state of matter that's halfway between liquid and solid. So then it uses a screw drive to push this stuff into an injection molding. So it's like injection molding plastic, except you're kind of injection molding magnesium is what you're doing. And what this allows is for really, really thin pieces that are very strong. You can have, the tolerances are very good, and you can have pieces that are like 0.5 millimeter thick. So what they're doing, I believe, is they are making the casing in here. So the problem, according to the CEO and founder of this company, is that a lot of the LED lights are placed in plastic housing, and plastic is a thermal insulator. And so then it's hard to dissipate the heat. But if you encase it in magnesium, magnesium is thermally conductive, and then you can dissipate heat much easier. And then you can put the silicone lens directly onto it as well. And that the silicone lens gives you the advantages. So here's a silicone lens. Silicone lens is a clear, kind of rubbery, flexible material, and it's very UV resistant and it's very temperature resistant. So you can go down to -40 Celsius and up to 200 degrees Celsius, and 94% light transmittance. And you can build these intricate structures, which are very important for this thing called ADB, which I was not really aware of, but I haven't really been looking into automotive lighting. And you guys probably know what ADB is, but this allows for that much easier. All right, so this is the penetration of LED. So now basically things have, like, HID lights are gone. They're not useful. They have no advantages. So people are using halogen, which is just cheaper, or LED. That's kind of what's happening. I think maybe HID lights are used in some SUVs and trucks still in America, but this is the penetration. So you can see VW and Toyota have moved largely into LEDs, and then GM, Ford, and Hyundai are a little bit behind. But that's the way that the technology and the market is moving to. And I looked up some comparative. So if you look at these, this is a Philips LED headlamp, and you can see that this is probably the heat sinks to it, and the rest of this is likely plastic. And you see this is a 22 watt, 1300 lumen thing, which compared to that is a 6 watt, 1500 lumen. Now, the 6 watt is in eco mode, so I don't know if it outputs 1500 lumens at 6 watts. So maybe, maybe not. That's a little bit unclear. Then Osram is another company. It's a German company. They have this one that's 19 watts and 2500 lumens. So that seems to be in line with Magwerks products here. And so this ADB thing is really interesting. So so Koito is a Japanese company that does LED lighting. They are actually the #1 company for LED lighting, and they have a little video here describing what ADB is, which I found extremely interesting, so I think we'd watch it together. Okay, hold on one second. I'm gonna make sure that this goes into the...
While driving at night, with only the low beam turned on, the driver's visibility is greatly limited. Driving with the high beam on offers much better visibility, but it causes glare for other drivers. ADB, or Adaptive Driving Beam, was developed as a solution to this problem. An ADB system uses an in-vehicle camera to identify oncoming and preceding vehicles and links the information of these vehicles' positions to the lighting to shade the appropriate areas. It selectively turns off only the LEDs that affect other vehicles, so drivers can feel free to use the high beam to enhance visibility.
Okay, so that was pretty cool. I did not know that technology existed, which is pretty cool. I think, let me see, there's another picture that kind of, yeah, so here it is. Here's another picture showing what ADB does. So here's the car. It has ADB, so it turns off the LEDs that are directed at this car and at this car, and it turns off the LEDs in relation as the car moves. So the drivers of these cars won't get blinded, but you still see in these in these corridors with like you have a high beam on. So it's like having high beams on all the time, which is great, without blinding other cars, which is also important. So I think that's a fairly standard technology in LED cars now. So I'm hoping Magwerks has that and that Aptera implements it, because it seems like a really cool thing. Because more visibility at night is always safer. All right, so anyways, the advantage of this Magwerks is it's smaller, more efficient, lighter, and it uses this magnesium coating, magnesium thixo molding, to make a housing that is thermally conductive and can deal with heat better, and uses a silicone lens that's like molded on there together. That makes it cheaper to build, stronger, and manages heat better and simpler. So a lot of technological advantages to this light source. So it seems like if what this company is saying is true, and I don't know why they wouldn't be telling the truth, that it's just a superior lighting system. So I don't know why everyone's not moving to this. Probably because it's patented. And what's interesting to me when you look at this thing, if you look at this thing right here, that looks just like Aptera's entire headlight assembly. So if you look at this, see, it's like kind of this slanted thing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 modules. And if you look at this, it's this slanted molding with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 modules. So I think this is Aptera's headlight module in their product page, which makes me think that they've been working with Magwerks for a long time, and Magwerks has indeed put Aptera's headlight assembly on their product page. Okay, all right. Well, hopefully that was interesting and useful to you guys. Thanks for watching. Any comments below? Correct any errors that I've made, please, in the comments. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, guys.